My name's Annette Wilson. I have a master's degree in physiotherapy and I am a rider biomechanics coach. I grew up in a veterinary practice. Both my parents, Dick and Doc Wilson, were vets in Clare in the mid-north, and my riding career has been in eventing, always having off-the-track thoroughbreds and competing right up to international level at Adelaide 3-day event, and I was on the elite athlete program. In my physiotherapy practice, I focus on treating middle-aged chronic pain with a big emphasis on weight training, and I have done extensive research in applying the new research to this group of patients, and this is where my interest is now extended into treating equine or performance horses or injured horses with weight training. Now, my research on the topic involved muscle physiology, sports physiotherapy, weight strength training for humans, equine biomechanics, equine strength training, equine post-injury rehabilitation and performance horse training. I didn't have access to PubMed. So without evidence-based research, all my research and test has been clinical. My inspiration came from a horse called Cody. After doing a 12-week graduated walking program and then increasing his work, he still was not strong, weak through the hind quarters, and had a square gait up and down hill and did not develop his top line. So I looked at him and decided if he was a human, what I would do is give him strength training. So hence my starting point for research into the biomechanics of the horse, because what we can't do with a horse is do repetitive lifts like we can do with a human. So Cody was my test pilot, and he started the weight training program. When we apply a weight to a muscle, we have more recruitment of fibers within that muscle belly. Now with humans we do repetitive lifts, so with the horse I had to design a program that would involve the whole biomechanical pattern of the horse. So after all my research, what I've designed is weight boots that go to the hind legs and a weight neck pad, so that when the horse is walking in a power walk with a full head nod, with each lift of the hind quarters we have recruitment of fibers within the rump, within the pelvis, within the mid back, so all the multifidus, the core muscles to allow him to round his back, and then we have the balancing action of the head bob at the walk. So if the horse is weighted at the neck and the hind quarters, all of the muscles involved in that biomechanical pattern are recruited. Now if we add in poles, as you can see here, add in heel work, all of the work only done at the walk, then over a period of time we can build muscle hyperplasia and hypertrophy and build strength. Now the program can be applied in hand, on the lunge, and as here by being ridden. What we don't want is any force or any constraints. So the horse must be free to move through the whole body, and it's also important to ask the horse for a power walk so that we're striding out and using increased joint ranges and requiring more power and recruitment during the training. So power walking with the weights on certainly has been very successful for this horse. Now my program involves both dynamic and static muscle work. The dynamic work is done at the walking pattern, and the static work is only applied to the neck, where we can place a weight around the neck and hold the horse still. Now the hind leg weight boots are variable. We start with a very low weight and only go to a maximum of 2 kilos, but the neck weight bag can go up to 7 kilos, and the collar comes in variable weight. Okay, so when we fit the boot, obviously we start with the lining on the inside. There is a middle segment and that sits at the back tendon. They're labelled left and right. Amazing how you can get them on the wrong leg. They have a top and a bottom. You certainly want the top so that the bars don't fall out. Now if you start with one bar in, or 2 bars, you just take these out, you're going to have a little bit more overlap. I've got 3 bars in because Cody's been working with this for quite a while. Now we do want his legs apart. Okay, that's good. Don't hit me. Alright, so start at the back. It's got to sit right in the middle of the cannon bone. Velcro it together so it sits there. All that does is hold it so that you can now do the sink strap. Loop that through the slide. Now it's important that you pull this quite tight and then Velcro it back so that the boot sits in a rectangle in the middle of between the hock and the pastern, and pretty much it's fairly solid and it doesn't slide. And when you take it off, opposite, pretty simple. So that's how you fit the boot. All of them are designed in exactly the same way, the only difference being the material. So you can use the 6 bars or reduce it down to as many as few as you need. So that's how you fit the boots. Now with the collar design, you're not going to use both together. Cody's got 4 kilos on at the moment. This is 3 kilo collar design. I won't put it on, but it goes over his neck in the same principle, sits around about halfway to the back third, and it just velcros up, and the same principles with the support. Now we don't have a lot of stabilizers here, it's one weight, so it will tend to move a little bit, but this again stops it coming down and hitting him in the back of the ears. So the collar designs vary a little bit in where the weight sits, but basically the design is exactly the same. So these are the things that we're testing out. To date, all of my measurements have been visual and functional, and not objective pre and post measurements. So I would really like to see this program endorsed, researched by the veterinary and the physiotherapy world. Had great success, as you can see here, with this horse who should have been put down. The other one also has been through the weight training program, and certainly having a great lifestyle. So I look forward to veterinary involvement and or research moving forward so that we can get this program out there, change the way people train and strengthen their horse, take the forced, harmful applications away and start building naturally, and do this for our horses.